This. Okay. Yo, what's good? What's good? We're gonna talk about this problem of GMS. Are they the ultimate thing on the Hebrews? Should we look at them and reflect them as if they speak for all Hebrews across America, in the land, or in Africa? You know what I'm saying? Garfield, what you feel about that, man?
Well, GMS cannot. I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of people who are in GMS. For some reason, it seems like the population of GMS seems to be one of the leading population. It's either that or it's like it's like 100 people that make like 1,000 videos each. Because GMS is all over the internet. They all
Yeah.
over. And even when you listen to ISUPK and the radio, they be calling in, bunch of them be calling in. And I'm like, is that, because I don't think there's that much Hebrew Israelites, period. That's just my opinion. But they seem to be a majority in as far as membership wise, because you see, you can have a hatred for self, but they take it to a whole nother level, man. This is like some psycho. I don't know. They said the white man made us horrible, and I don't think so compared to what GMS is saying.
Man,
they are the worst. They could not have learned that from anybody. They learned that from them taking the doctrine, taking it literal, and doing what they're doing. But let me say this final point. GMS, we are mad at GMS, but we should be mad at ISUPK too. ISUPK, the way how that video they showed of him talking to that little girl and talking about how the black woman is this and that. I know LaRon turned when he saw that, if he saw it. That's disgusting, B. ISUPK need to be checked. We know Tazaria. We know him personally. I live in New York. So I could rock with Tazaria. But at the end of the day, General Yohana, how he went off and that little girl right there, talking that you ain't no good, you a little nasty ass hoe, and little, yo, if I was there, damn, man, I'm telling you, man,
that's crazy. Because look, like I came, we always observe the laws and commandments, but I didn't officially turn. I don't know if you call, I didn't officially become Hebrew till I was like 11. But we never went to like basic church ever. But my father, we was dealing with people out of ISUPK, man, and my pops just one day said, "These Negroes is crazy." He said, "Yo, so we got our own assembly out here, but the thing is, man, they have so much hatred. It's like the KKK, neo-Nazi. Like that's how I look at GMS. It's like one of these fringe groups. But here's the thing: there's a reason why there's so much media out, because there are not only videos that they're making, there are also videos that people make of them. So when you add that with all the craziness, like it's really ridiculous. So the only problem I have with Polite with that video is that he made it seem as if it's just crickets over here, as if no Hebrew ever came out against him. And you can go on Sinetta right now. You go on Black News. Gorilla Hebrew got 2 videos exposing them. So it ain't like people just sitting around and looking at them and being like, okay, that's cool. Nah, people done spoke out against them. But the ISUPK, that's the first time I saw that. That was crazy with that little girl.
ISUPK got tons of videos, bro. They're way out there too. They are way out there. It's just that they kind of toned it down now, but they are way out there. They got tons of videos talking about ISUPK, showing ISUPK in their madness. ISUPK is borderline. Let me tell you something. All of these groups that are out there, we say that they're on the front line. But one thing we got to think about, man, and LaRon's going to obviously bring up the whole one world order and everything. Let me tell you something. Anytime you have a group and it's one leader, they're suspect. Just remember that. They are suspect. Remember I said that.
You know what? Because this is when you get a Joseph Smith,
Jim Jones,
Peter Popoff. You get people like that, and you know what? I don't even think it's a problem with one leader. It's when that one leader becomes infallible. if it's a charismatic leader that everybody loves and adores, and he's not a dictator, and okay, that might be cool. But it's when there's no flaw in this leader, and it's blasphemy if you say anything bad about him. That's when I start looking at stuff crazy, you know.
Mm.
But then again, here's the thing about religion, though. I don't even really care if somebody want to do that. Like, we could even look at Elijah Muhammad. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if the Muslims want to say he's the second coming of the Messiah, or he's the Messiah figure, or even if they want to say Farad Muhammad is Allah in the flesh,
Mm-hmm.
if they want to believe that and none of their actions affect me, I really don't care. You know, I don't believe that, but if that's what they believe, that's what they believe. But my only thing with them is I don't want to hear anything about you looking at me crazy because I believe Yeshua rose from the dead on the third day. You lose all rights to criticize that if you believe Farad Muhammad is Allah in the flesh. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you could keep that, but be aware that you can't prove that, you know. But this GMS thing, the thing that was most disturbing about the GMS thing is when they was talking about that little boy that got killed in Cleveland. They're like, forget him too. I'm like, that's crazy. Like when it's like when people say stuff like that, I don't even. That should be just. See, here's the thing. People make videos about the Kemetic people or Bible bashers or whatever because they might come up with some arguments that people might look at and be like, man, that might be kind of true. Like, you might present a good argument that people might be like, man. So we'll want to address those. But when somebody's saying, we don't care about Mike Brown, forget about that little boy that got shot, that's so obviously incredibly insane. You know, wasting time trying to make a video trying to show that that's wrong. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Go ahead, Laurent. Go ahead, Laurent.
LeBron, you there? Man, he probably driving and stuff.
No, you probably at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No, I had it on mute. I was trying to take it up off of mute. Basically, yeah. But can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
yeah, go
yeah.
ahead, brother.
Yeah. You know, when you got all of these camps, man, and they not really teaching the Bible how they should, and what they really is basically black supremacy groups. That's all they is.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mhm.
none of them is God consciousness. You know, because if they was, they'd be walking by the Spirit, and what I mean by that is they would be judging people by the Spirit rather than looking on somebody's flesh. You know, they go around and say this person ain't getting in, or the Africans, and what's crazy is they worried about, they say they GMS, but what they need to be worried about is DNA. And you know, these brothers, man, they talking about that they don't, you know, down in the Africans, down in the white people, you know what I'm saying, and none of them has taken a DNA test, and half of them is Africans, probably to the fact. But you know, our Bible teaches us that a man is not justified by the flesh, basically the works of the flesh. The Bible says also that we shouldn't even be dealing with genealogies, dealing in the aspect, especially when you've been into slavery, so you don't know what you are. So you going around and saying what you is, and you don't really know what you are, but you base it off of text. But what they don't fail to realize, what they fail to realize is there was many people that came over on them boats, just as well as you know, many Africans, and you had some possibly Israelites that came over on them boats. So you know, it's you know, when we get to talking about, are you making a actual claim but putting judgment on people, but behind your claim you have no evidence.
Mm.
So the Bible is not telling you to go around and say that you are a Hebrew Israelite, or you or he's woke because he just found out that he's a Hebrew Israelite. No, that's not what the Bible telling you. The Bible tells you, no man according to the flesh, first off. What does that mean? Paul was a Benjamite, and the Bible says that he counted uh uh genealogy as dung. Why is that? Because it means nothing with God, basically. What means something to God is if you worship him in spirit and truth, basically. Now there is an inheritance to Israel, but there's a whole another earth that needs to be populated. Yes, they have an inheritance. So when we dealing with the whole concept of these camps, all they is black supremacy groups. They ignorant of the scriptures, and they make everybody look bad, and it's ridiculous, and it has to stop, you know. And it takes brothers that know the scriptures to correct the folly and clean up their mess, which they have done and spread around here. So the cleanup is happening because number one is, I'm gonna keep it honest with you. We shouldn't even be getting at the cosmetics. We need to be cleaning out the house. We need to clean house first off. You clean house first, and then you go out. So we need to clean house first, and then go out and get it in, and bring people in or convert or whatever we gonna do. But for the most part is, we got some cleaning we need to do. So,
Because
you know,
yeah,
that's
because
my input on it.
yeah, I'm like this, man. Garfield, I'm about to get spooky over here, so I'm just gonna warn you, okay? Look, they got a demon on them, man. That's just a evil, vindictive, divisive demon on them, and it's spreading through them like a virus. You know what I'm saying? This mentality of hatred. There's no love. Have you ever heard GMS say something like, "I love my brothers"? You know what I'm saying? I love my sisters, even within their camp. Like, I love my brothers of GMS, or I love. You don't hear any of that kind of talk. You know, of I'm here to support my brothers and help build this up. It's all about people dying, people getting raped, staying divisive. You know, it's trying to. You know, it's just crazy. I think they just say stuff. It's like this thing of, hey, I'm gonna say this thing that's incredibly insensitive, incredibly divisive, and because I'm saying out loud, therefore I'm real. It's like that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling it how it is. And that's a real problem, man, because, like, you know, I be talking, you know, you be on the groups and everything, and as soon as you type anything down, you got to go through the red tape of explaining of, hey, I'm not like GMS. You know what I'm saying? And and no matter how much you say you're not like them, they still try to squeeze some of their philosophies in there. They'll say something like, well, hey, they say they're Hebrews, you're Hebrew, so this must be what you believe in. And I just think that's wild, man. I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. There's been a couple of videos out separating themselves, but somehow we got to make them the outcasts, you know. That's kind of why I wanted to do this hangout, just so they could understand that, man, yo.
And
You
for the most part, you know, them guys out there, they know that. See, here's the thing. Everybody is mature enough to understand that you cannot label one group, or you cannot label a whole entire people just because of the activities of one group. So they know that. So, you know, it's just you have people that, because they see that these people are making mistakes, they want to label all in that aspect. So you cannot. So these people are mature enough to know that. So the arguments that the so-called conscious community come with is just immature, and it's folly. And it's like they get information. They had this scroll of information, and you can tell when the ones is just getting to come into the comedic thing and get the understanding and the knowledge of it, because they start off making arguments about King James, or they start off making arguments about other things that the commanders got a scroll book of that they started using. And when you think about it, you was like, dang, that didn't been debunked. You need to graduate to something else now. So this is an argument that they're using basically to categorize and say, see the Bible this, see the Bible that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and that's the thing. So, but when people actually read the Bible and understand this book, basically is giving us insight on a conspiracy, talking about the economic system, talking about political standpoints, and talking about the mark of the beast and these different marks and things that's going on, because a collapsing of the economy will cause a mark of the beast to come about. So people
Mm-hmm.
may buy, sell, and trade and deal with food. So what they don't understand is these mystery groups, these ancient mystery lodges and ancient Mason lodges, they hate the Bible. They
Mm.
hate it. They don't like it. You know what I'm
But they
saying?
use it. But then they use it.
Yeah, and you know why? Because you know why? Because they realize that if we can't see, this is the remedy for people that can't defeat something. They join in it and they infiltrate it. You see what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that's what they do. They either take from it or try to add to. See, because see, that's the method of operation that we see in the garden. Ye shall not surely die. See, you put a look for you should be as gods, and yeah, they did in the aspect become again an attribute of God to know good and evil. They did definitely, but what he didn't tell you was the other part. See what I'm saying? That basically that you gonna die. So this is what they
Mm-hmm.
do. They mix the truth with a lie. But
Yeah.
what they fail to realize is eventually the lie is an infection, is a virus. So it begins to eat away the truth. So this is what we call a new world order. In other words, God gave you an order. He gave you a favorable beginning. He gave you all. He gave you dominion over everything. What more could you ask for? Only thing he asked you to do is chill out and don't touch this tree. That's all he asked you to do. He gave you a new beginning. He gave you everything. So then you will ask and say, well, God was whole knowledge. What more did you need to know? He gave you all that you were supposed to get. You had dominion over everything. But he tells you don't touch this one portion of this tree. So now you want to blame God. So here's the other order. The first order is to obey God. Obey God. The second order is a new world order. And this order is stemmed by ancient hate. An ancient hate in who? A hate in the creator source. A hate in the intellect. That you should be as gods. So God know you gonna be as him, knowing good and evil. You should be as gods, knowing good and evil. But you don't need God, basically. We can gain immortality through our intellect, but you don't even know the manual of man. What is the manual of man? You still trying to learn self. So
Man.
when every time you learn something about self and you put forth a remedy to heal self, then guess what? There is a deficiency, because guess what? There's what you call side effects, because you don't have the manual and you don't know how to fix self. That should let you know that, number one, that the promise that the serpent, the promise that the mystery systems offer you on immortality, they cannot deliver it or give it to you at all. They
Mm.
working towards it, but they can't produce. And the only thing they're gonna do is cause more and more degeneration and chaos on this earth. And they're gonna use tools in the Kemetic society. They're gonna use tools in the religious society for dealing with the Bible. It's people that's over here like GMS. It's people that's in the Christian faith. It's being used greatly by the enemy. Greatly,
Yeah.
because number one, we gotta understand this, and this is my last point. If God said that he made man in the image and likeness of God, and then you have a serpent or you have an adversary that does not like God, he's mad because you're in the image and likeness of God, and you're actually like God. So guess what? He's going to take you out by means of whatever he can take you out with, even if it's by means of something that's in that's around you, or just dealing with your own text. So, it's simple, man.
Yeah, and here's the thing that's real frustrating about the whole bit. You know, this is the argument that I feel the most frustrating. They'll say, well, all GMS is doing is following what the Bible says literally. When you look at the Old Testament, the Israelites was killing and taking everybody's land and pillaging. And the issue with that is the Most High commanded Israelites of that time to do that. This wasn't an ongoing thing. When he said, hey, go slaughter the Amalekites, they went and slaughtered them. That wasn't a commandment for us to do all time and, till today. It doesn't say that. So what it is this is the problem. And I always say this, when it comes to the Bible, people don't know how to separate a commandment that all of us are supposed to follow, a commandment that he specifically told a group of people for a specific time or a person for a specific time, and the Bible recording events that happened. Like when you remember when the Benjamites, they almost went extinct because because the Israelites was banging on them so hard, so they didn't have no wives. So they went up and snatched up them wives. God didn't tell them to do that. That's a plan that the elders came up on their own. But people will look at that, like GMS will look at that. See, we get to take women and rape them and all that. It don't say none of that from the Most High. So what it is that's what's real frustrating about GMS. Because people look, you know what, GMS is like the Taliban and the ISIS of the Hebrew Israelites. You know what I'm saying? It's like like Brother Issa. Brother Issa is not going to chop off nobody's head. He's not going to chop off nobody's head. He's not going to imprison an 8-year-old girl because she got raped. He's not going to do all that. But when you see the news and you see these ISIS people chopping off people's head and stuff, they make the same argument and say, well, hey, they're just doing what it literally says in the Quran. And I'm like, but it all goes back to this. Let's judge people by their actions instead of their beliefs. You know what I'm saying? If somebody has been nothing but good to somebody, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to nitpick their beliefs as long as I'm, looking at him and being like, okay, this guy's a cool dude. He's a good brother. He helps out the community. I don't feel the need that I have to dig deep into what he believes because based off his actions, he's solid. It's like they actually had a thing in Israel. They had these little Jewish kids, little Khazars, right? And they asked them. It was about a survey. It was about a little over 2,000 students, and they all asked them, "Was Moses justified in slaughtering all these people going back to the land?" Right? And 90% of them said yes. And they was like, wow, see, look at how immoral the Bible makes people, because they said it's okay that he went and slaughtered everybody. But here's the thing. Then they asked him, have any of y'all killed anybody? 100% of them said no. So let's look at this rationally. We could judge people all day because they think stuff is justified, but at the end of the day, what are they doing themselves? Have they done anything? Have they slaughtered anybody? Have they raped anybody? As opposed to what they think in their head. And that's really, we have to judge people by their actions, man. And when you look at GMS, you look at what they say, man. Ain't no love in their heart, man. And really, that dude pointing his finger at Sinetta talking about he gonna be the next Mike Brown. Yo, to me, that's a death threat. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you think, LeBron?
I definitely would have to agree. It's like they putting threats out there to where it's gonna get. And you have to know that when these people make threats like that and send shots out, excuse me, they definitely will do something to you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know that. So you don't even put yourself in the position to where you even dealing with people like that in the aspect, because you know that they ignorant, and you know already that they foolish. So when you deal with the biblical text and you look at it, now understand this. Now there is what you call a spiritual gathering. In other words, for people to be regenerated and to restore moral aspects, there takes a spiritual gathering first. Then natural force must be put forth. See, this is the mindset. In other words, if we're talking about two orders here, one order must take out the other order. But it starts with man being rejuvenated spiritually, because we must protect the moral aspects of the Creator for all good of society. What do I mean by that? Get your mind right first, spiritually, and get your thinking correct. That way you can make wise judgments. Now, when you're able to do that, understand there is an enemy, and there is a natural world. So when you talk about Israel coming into the promised land, or coming into the land of dealing with people that's basically doing stuff in the land that they shouldn't be doing, and you talking about the order of God being established through Israel to set order in a specific place, that is God's house, that is His place, basically, then you know already that there must be physicality that takes place. There must be a battle to take place. See, I can sit and tell you about the Bible all day long, but eventually there is coming a dispensation of time where there is a season for war. For instance, if I tell you, don't go coming into my land and messing with this and messing with that, and you come into my land, I can pray all day. And that's what's up, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to not cease to pray, but continue to pray. But if you come into my land and I ask you not to come into my land, I'm already prayed up and already have the instance and the guidance on what I need to do to you physically. Because there's a spiritual battle and there is a physical battle. So here's the struggle. The struggle is we must know when it is time to go to war. And don't think that you just for the see, because for instance, when you talk about the Constitution, the second rule amendment in the Constitution is that you have the right to bear arms. Now here's the thing, that was initiated for the people, because if the government would get out of control, then guess what? Who gonna uphold the law? Every man must uphold the law himself. Even though you would get, see, now that you would get penalized, but back then you had the government system that was robbing and stealing and then shaking up out of town. So if they wouldn't uphold the law, then I had the right to bear arms. So now they want to get you registered now. So now you get registered up to get your to get a gun. So when you get to tripping, they know where to come get your guns.
Yeah, you see that?
So they are the superpower. They are the superior power now. They have control. See, before then, a constitution was set up that the government was afraid of the people. Because you know why? Because the government knew already that the people can overthrow them or override them. Now the government is in no wise afraid of the people, but guess what? Because they know they have everything registered up and they know they have superiority, so no one's going to judge the government. No one's going to judge them, because nobody feels that they have the power, and the government have made it seem that they big and bad. So therefore, who's going to uprise against the government? No one. So it's going to take a divine intervention for the people to rise up spiritually in the state, and also for the Most High to judge these people through His signs and wonders that He's going to show in the latter times, when nature will begin to govern, to judge man, basically. See, this is what's going to happen. Nature, God is going to use nature through his miraculous wonders and through his hand to judge this world.
Yeah,
Famine will take place. Comets, meteors will hit this earth. The sun will not give its light. So these are the things that's gonna happen, and this is the turning point when the moral people or the righteous people will, the meek people will basically have the earth, will take the earth and put all the rebels forth and put them forth out of this earth through death, because that's what needs to take place. But go ahead, Al.
yeah, because you know why the meat go inherit the earth? Because all these violent, hateful people go to destroy themselves. You know, it's like GMS, man. It's like I always say this, man. I always say this. The white man does not fear people like GMS. They don't fear them because nobody on the world stage is going to take them seriously. But when you're a calm, mild-mannered person that's dealing in logic and promoting his people to be civilized and attack things through being intelligent instead of being ignorant, the white man doesn't like that guy. You know, that person will always pose more of a threat. You know, you going out there and just saying, yo, the white man, the devil, you know, killing black babies, we finna kill. This brother said he's gonna go out and kill black babies. Laurent, did you hear that?
Yeah, I
Laurent,
definitely heard. Yeah, I definitely heard, and it was sad.
the brother said he's gonna go out and kill black babies.
You know,
It's like,
I just gotta laugh when they talk, man. These dudes, I don't know what's going on. I understand America is not there for a lot of people, but to speak the way they do is just ridiculous.
I mean,
Ridiculous. Totally ridiculous.
and there's just so much hatred, and it's a very you know what? And then I'm just gonna keep it real, man. A lot of them probably been in and out of prison their whole life. They lived out in the streets, so they come into the truth and the knowledge, but yet they put their street mentality onto a religion, and that's just the chemical base for chaos, you know. And
And
that's
you
what.
know what's crazy, Alvin? Because if you notice something about America, there is great opportunities here.
Mm-hmm.
These white people ain't saying that you can't get no money here. For instance, you know, Garfield, he made his own MySpace, or you know, he doing his thing, right? Or he doing little things for us, debt and repair and these different things, right? So these white people just telling you, or they saying you can have an ideal, and the ideal can get you billions and millions of dollars. So they ain't saying you can't get no money. They saying get some type of ideals, basically. Whether you want to do entertainment, social network, repair credit, whatever the case may be. Man, now here's the thing that I have a problem with. Now you have Africans that come over here, open up stores, and they give them money. Matter of fact, so you have to wonder and say, what is the problem with the black Americans, or not even just the black Americans in general, just the American in general, to where you have people that come over here out of states and seize a opportunity to make money, to feed and go back home and feed their family, and basically are wealthy in their land.
Hmm.
Now, I don't know what anybody is looking at, but what I'm saying that something is the black American, and everybody has went through something, through a struggle of someone going through their land, more than 400 years of being dominated because they had gold in their land, or because they had some type of wood or something that the elite ones needed to go on their land, and make them put forth the labor to bring forth the things that they need in their own land, even dealing with their
Mm-hmm.
economics. So the thing about it is this: is what is the problem with the black American that he can't shake his mind and get himself together spiritually, mentally first, and then get out here and do what he has to do? Because they're not saying that you can't do it. You know you can get a simple ideal, and a simple idea will give you some money to bless you and bless many around you. Just get a simple. It may be something simple, something like like somebody came up with a knife that cut through stuff, and or either a better type of blender, and they making the George Foreman grill, and they making millions and millions of money off of this stuff. And guess what? They will actually pay you if you don't have the money to put forth your idea. Yeah, they get a percentage, but at the same time, you're gonna be a millionaire. So it ain't like they ain't saying that we can't get money out of it. So I agree with Polite when Polite talk about sovereignty, because you can do that, and they giving you the opportunity to do that. When these Africans come here and set up and get in their neighborhoods, the first thing they do is get out here and make money, open up businesses. And then when they open up these businesses, guess who be they who come and buy from them? Black Americans. And when we come and buy from them, then guess where they take the money back to? Africa. They millionaires in Africa just for the money that they making over here. Same thing with other cultures. They do the same thing. So we have to seize the opportunity that we have, like the scriptures say, build you some houses, uh, seek the peace of the land, in the scripture it talks about, because number one is he had put us in this oppression because of what we was doing. Number one, what our ancestors was doing. So therefore, seek the peace of the land, build your properties, live in all peace at the same time, and get you some money or whatever, so you can do for your family and also do for others that need help. You know what I'm saying? Out here, regardless of what color. So this is the thing that we got to start doing.
Yeah, and let me tell you something, man. There's a self-destruction button on us, and I'm gonna tell you why. See, the reasons why the Arab can come over here and set up shop, the Indian can come over here and set up shop, and even the African, because they didn't have to go through any kind of conditioning. You know, they didn't go through this 400-year slavery thing in America. That's 400 years of psychological damage, and that's not going to get that's you're not going to get rid of that in just really a span of just
No,
50.
they actually had it worse than that, brother. They had more than 400 years. You got to understand the Semitic culture had been coming into Africa for centuries. You got to understand what took place in the Islamic movement from 1299, and
Oh, oh yeah, I know you talking about the trans-Saharan and the trans-Indian Ocean slave trade makes the transatlantic slave trade look like a drop in the bucket,
yeah,
because
it's
that trans-Saharan slave trade and trans-Indian Ocean slave trade, that was going on before, during, and after the transatlantic slave trade. So yeah,
exactly.
you right about that. That one was, man. Yeah, what you guys say, Mike? You got something to say, bro?
Oh, shalom to everybody. Peace, y'all.
Peace,
Yo,
Mikhail.
Uh, I just tuned in. I heard when G Conscious was talking about sovereignty, and let's keep it real. Even despite all these things going on with Kemet and the bruise or whatever, some of them brothers do have some good ideas. That's what Polite is. He's an entrepreneur, and if you look at it, that's where he'd be best fit for our community with. You know what I'm saying? And lead a
Exactly.
doctrine. Lead a doctrine. Some people need to lead the doctrines alone. Real talk. And my computer probably finna mess up, but I don't want to lose my mind. As far as sovereignty though, I got something I want to bring to the table on that. Give me 1 second.
His
Yeah,
computer froze up.
yeah, but like I ain't want. Hey, LeRon, you saw that thing where the brother came on there, polite was like, man, you don't support me, man. Then he said, man, I gave you $90 and I didn't get that exempt. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saying that.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. As far as sovereignty go, though, man, you know, I went through the whole Moorish American stint, you know, as I was growing up or whatever. And what I noticed with that, you don't have to. That's a misconception too. You don't have to go through people who claim Moorish Science Temple to get your sovereignty either. You can do that on your own. But I noticed, and I'm not speaking on all their behalves. A lot of them brothers be running scams on people, man. Like I know cats that was trying to file for their sovereignty papers, man, for damn near years. And they was going through the Moorish science, man. And they just keep charging you for every time to bring your affidavits and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just like what black folks do. But it's the thing about sovereignty. I know some Israelites who claim sovereignty. But
Mhm.
it's funny about that because they can really get on some BS with you. Cause see, it's this a well known this is a quiet kept fact. You know, we the only people, um, the Hebrew Israelite. That's how one reason I know we Israelites, the African American. You the only one that can't get dual citizenship. You know that?
Mm.
Go check it out. Go look it up. Try to pull it. And it has some brothers who claim Hebrew Israelite. See that whole movement to Demona was really meant a lot to the world. People don't know how important, how valid that was. Because actually what they showed and what they said was that under the grounds that they were the natural aboriginal people of that land, Lebanon and all that, they had to let them in. Nobody pays that no attention. You notice when they dealing with the Israelites that come from Africa, like the Falasha tribe, the Ibu, I think a few Limbas tribe, but it's a couple of more tribes that have left the native countries in Africa due to certain reasons. You know, they were in refugee camps and stuff like that. And the Israelis didn't want to let them in. A lot of them they still haven't let in under the grounds that they were saying that they were not they were not obligated to get them land because they didn't look at them as natural Judeans or Israelites. They looked at them as people who took up the religion, which is funny because the Lemberts proved that they was from over there, so they had to start letting them in. So they put a trick on it and said, well, if you come from one of these African or other Asiatic countries and you claim the inheritance to this land, you have to join them. You have to join the Israeli military for at least 2 years to get your citizenship. So
Yeah.
this thing is really serious. See, we doing all this Kemet Hebrew thing. Let's be honest. When it's all said and done, even the Kemet cats, if they can get their eyes off of them pyramids, they'll see that this thing these Israelites talking is way bigger than religion, and it has some authenticity to it, or people wouldn't be able to run over there to Israel from America. Ben I mean them proved they was the native Israelites over there. And what's funny, Israel used the scriptures as part of their I can't think of the exact word, but it's part of the claim of their land, like how we had a constitution. They have a constitution, but it's a biblical text from the Torah. It's integrated in their constitution. So what they tell you, why was Ben Amin able to go over there? Because the biblical text, along with the constitution of the land, proved that they was the native Israelites of that land. See, it's a lot out here they don't want to get out, man. This information you can really find out, you know. And I ain't gonna say who my source is, but on that, you get a chance, you my friend, just go look through some of them pictures, and you gonna bump into one and say, "Oh, yeah," you'll see where I got it from. So I ain't making this up. So my whole point is, we've had brothers over here in America who claim they were Hebrew Israelites. So this let us know the government know who we are. we not just out here hollering and yelling, man. They know who we are. If all of us decided to say we was Egyptian, they would not give a damn whatsoever, because it don't have no legal ramifications to
That
the
was
UN.
ever since that FBI report. What was that came out like 1998?
That was 98. Yeah, Project Megiddo.
Yeah, Project Megiddo. Now, what's interesting about that FBI report is that there has been no terrorist attack of any depth under the name of Hebrew Israelite.
Never, not once. But they had us at the top of the list, though.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what is up with that? You know, like that.
And did you see why they said that? Did you see why they said that? Remember, they even said in the report. See, when it come to Islam, they say that, of course, evidence of previous terror attacks. Of course, they could say that. However you want to look at that, because they had their hand in that too. Don't just blame it on Islam. But when it came to the Hebrew Israelites, they said, although we cannot prove that they've had their hand in any violent attack against the American government or its citizens, they ought to be taken seriously as a threat, because they take the book of Daniel and Revelations literal.
Oh,
that made my antennas. That made my antennas go straight up. Promise. Go back and look at it. That means that they know what Daniel and Revelations is talking about, and that means that they know that's us.
Now, have you ever that? Now, hold on, that's deep, bro. Because have you ever heard them? They usually talk in general about things. Mind you, there's Christians that believe Daniel and Revelation are literal.
And they blew
they're not in the FBI.
Hold on. And them Christians, them neo-Christians, them fanatical Christians, they've actually committed multiple terrorist attacks on the U.S. government.
And you got Timothy McVeigh, then you got Heaven's Gate cults, you got all type of stuff, you know, and they ain't nowhere near in there. So there's plenty. It's interesting that they would point out those two books, but only because it's these quote-unquote Hebrew Israelites that believe in that. If you're a Christian and believe in that, you good. But don't be a Hebrew Israelite and believe in that. Oh, man, that's right. Now, look. Now watch this thing. Did you see old boy from GMS talking about, he said Guerrilla Hebrew, a CIA operative?
Hold on.
You ain't see that? Look, my thing is this. Why would he say that? And see, I don't think Guerrilla Hebrew a CIA operative. I think the person who's saying that, because first of all, when you look at the stuff they saying, that looks like it could be a terrorist group. So if I'm the CIA and I want to prove these people are a terrorist group, I'm going to pay a couple of knucklehead people.
Hold on, bro. What you say about Al-Azhar before my computer dropped?
There's a video of somebody from GMS saying Guerrilla Hebrew is a CIA operative.
Wow, I never heard that. I don't believe it, but I've never heard that.
No, that's all. It's on Black News. It's because the Guerrilla Hebrew was like exposing them, right?
Yeah.
But he was exposing them, but they said that about him. I'm like, what would make them say that if they wasn't because I'm telling you, man, for them to say all of that outrageous stuff, like that stuff's so outrageous that they say, it just seems like somebody paid them to say that stuff. I'm like, no Negro in his right mind would talk about how he's gonna kill black babies, how black babies need to be killed. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Somebody got paid, man.
I'm gonna be honest, man. And you know that's somebody got some bad echo in the background. I need to mute your YouTube or something.
Oh, that's probably me. Go ahead, bro.
But you know, look, I ain't into the camp banging and all that. That's why I don't bring my camp up too often, because they feed me spiritually and they take care of the community, so they not gonna get in the middle of no mess. But if somebody want to say something to me, they can say something to me. You know, it ain't no secret. I'm Walls of Jericho, man. That's my whole thing right there. But them brothers, man, ain't nothing about them right. Straight up. All these different, multiple different type of Hebrew camps we get in the United States with all these different doctrines, a lot of them I don't agree with or whatever. I would never ever not look at them still as my brother. But them cats, I don't ever associate me with them. I do not look at them dudes as Hebrew Israelites.
Man,
They
look,
physical. They might be physical Israelites, but them dudes is like Pharisees, man. Like for real, Joe. And I feel you, man. I be looking at some of the stuff they say, and I'm like, I don't even see how you could convince yourself that the things you saying are righteous according to the Bible. Nowhere. That's why I believe they got to be a plant, man. It's like they put here just to disrupt whatever we building.
right.
Think about this. Think about this. Shalom, Ak. Hold up. Hold on, Ak. 1 minute. Think about this. Have y'all paid this attention? Now the Hebrews got momentum, right? Going into this February 8th debate, right?
Mm,
And then GMS just pop up with this video. And it's funny that it went straight to House of Consciousness. They got a hold of it first. That's all this fishy. And then they come up with this video with them talking about Mike Brown should have got shot. And
the timing of it.
come on, man. That tactic and that timing cannot be coincidental.
That's the timing, because them videos is old.
And why it's just not coming out, though? Like, where they dig that video up from? I've been seeing them say stuff like that for years.
And now they just pop it up right there. So now it's like clean. That ain't nothing but a tactic, man. That's just like,
Yeah, I'm at the
and,
crib
and,
on
and it's like this, man. That whole clean your house up thing. So now they gonna try to forfeit. They'll try to forfeit the debate just because the house ain't clean on the Hebrew Israelite side. And you know what? I ain't gonna lie. This debate, man, I was saying I wanted to go, but I don't know, man. These Negroes talking about, I heard some GMS members telling Shaka not to show up. Like, that shit's silly to me, because I know Shaka be saying some wild stuff, but none of the stuff he's saying is worthy of putting threats to his life and stuff. Like, that's where it gets cut off. That's why I feel like a lot of these people involved in this conscious community are ex-criminals. There's ex-criminals that may have found their way and, you know, eventually got better, went in and out of prison. They wanted to change their life, but they still apply that street mentality onto their spiritualism, and it's madness. And I think that's why I put this video up. I think the best way to heal this process is to exclude them and make them outcasts, so everybody can understand that they do not speak for the majority of the quote unquote Hebrew community. And I mean, it's a big stain. I mean, when it comes to the Bible has went through so many people's hands. It's went through the Europeans' hands. You see the Spanish Inquisition. You see the Crusades. You see the Salem witch trials. And then you see it in the hands of Jim Jones, bringing all those people down to Jonestown, killing everybody with poison Kool-Aid. You see people like Peter Popoff, tricking people into buying holy water and stuff, lying, making money off the Bible. You see all of the Bible has went through the hand. And then you got Ivan the Terrible just slaughtering everybody.
Hey, bro, I want you to repeat just the part where you were saying about your homie, how he was all nice and humble, and then you say he went to GMS and he started saying stuff like Mike Brown. Hold on, I want you to just say that. Just say that part. Say that part. I'm finna put you on speakerphone.
Excuse my French. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I got you on speakerphone. Repeat what you say your homie started doing.
French, but I'm gonna tell y'all what I just told him, brother Frank, about my homie that's from from Chicago, and we here in Kansas City, and the brother was with he was with IOG for a while with us, and then all of a sudden he flipped, and then he went to IUIC, Israel United in Christ. Then he kind of started getting a little rough on things, his speech, against he had forced his wife wasn't into the word, when trying to hear the truth. He forced IOG on her. Then she finally started participating in like the teachers that Brother Bowie was bringing, and she was basically fell in love with the teachers and things like that, and the atmosphere of the camp. So then after that, he flipped on. He heard this lesson about Joseph is the father of Christ. So he heard that lesson, then he flipped and went to IUIC. Then he started talking a little different, Then after about 8 months with IUIC, he got pissed off at Nate because Nate was didn't want to answer him and told him it was kind of ignorant of him about the floating moon Sabbath that GMS did, because he had got caught up in he's still young in it. And then then he flipped after him and Nate, after he cussed Nate out and stuff like that, he went to GMS because he heard what's his name, Tahar, cussing Nate's whole family, talking about how he prayed to the Most High, that the Most High.
Hold up, stop. Hold up. The Google Hangout just kicked.
Yo, oh, you got cut off, man. That right there, I don't even know what to say about that. We supposed to try to better each other and fill each other with love instead of this hate. That's crazy.
I'm just talking about how he.
Hold up. I'm waiting for it to the light to blink back on. Hold on. Here we go.
You on?
Okay, here you go. Right here. I fault y'all. Finish what you was saying, bro.
All right, I was just saying I'm not dogging IUIC because I agree with a lot of other brothers too. But the thing is, I'm saying how he started liking GMS because Tahar had cursed. No, basically he said he prayed to the Most High. He prayed to the Most High that the Most High strike, kill Nate, kill his family, kill his wife, kill his kids.
You hear this?
His brother was saying all this on the video, right? And he's showing, my boy is showing me this, and he's smiling like it's all good, like, yeah, man, he's getting that. I'm like, what? I said, bro, and I asked you, my first brothers and sisters out there listening, I asked him, I said, man, what the fuck wrong with you? Because you an ignorant motherfucker, man. I said, I said, man, I wish a motherfucker would pray on about killing my family. I'm gonna go see his ass.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Like I said, he started treating his wife really cruel, and then the brother said the same thing that Mike Hill just said about when I was talking to him about the Mike Brown incident. He said, yeah, that nigga was wicked. He deserved to die. I said, how the fuck you know? You ain't know this kid. I said, my brother and my sister in St. Louis know him. You know what I'm saying? I was so pissed at him, bro. I'm telling you, it took everything in me not to punch him in the face. I'm dead serious. And
crazy, man.
I'm telling you, man, they heard you. They heard you, man. That's more confirmation. Them dudes ain't from the Lord, man, at all, man. They from the CIA, FBI, or something. Cause I don't see, and where they sisters at? What?
Man.
Well, we feel that women don't need to be taught. Women can stay at women cause confusion. Women is wicked. Women is there. I said, man, y'all sound like some homosexuals, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. How you gonna? Cause you don't see no women around.
I ain't never seen no women say
GMS woman. I've never seen that before.
I've heard of a GMS sister, man. Let's go try to find one.
Man,
Bro, she probably looked like Tahar.
Man,
hey, bro say she look like
Amin on here, man. Amin used to be with GMS, man. I'm trying to get him.
What's go ahead, y'all. I'm finna mute y'all for a minute.
Yeah. So y'all can see right there that this is just straight up wickedness, man. Where a brother was doing good, he was righteous. All of a sudden, he comes with this group, and they corrupt him. I mean, that's insanity. And the really messed up part about it all is now white folk and even other black folk can look at that and be like, see, that's black people. That's the Hebrew Israelites. Everything we had in the FBI report, everything we said about them had to have been true. Because look at the threats. They talking about killing their own people. Forget about the white man. They talking about killing their own people. So we were justified in putting them in that FBI report. And I think the best thing we should be able to do is figure out a way to separate them from all the rest of us. And I think that might be one of the #1 goals. That's why I want to do this video talking about it, because it's very important not to clump everybody together. And I advise everybody, the next time you talk to a Hebrew Israelite, the next time you talk with a Kemetic, it'll be very, very fruitful if you ask them, so what are your beliefs on this? What are your beliefs on that? So you can understand that they're not the same. Because if you go into things with a prejudice, already thinking about somebody like GMS or somebody else that might be preaching hate speech, you might be getting at somebody who disagrees with all of that, aggressively. But because they have the title of Hebrew Israelite, they get all that baggage that come with it. And that's what I try to do. So even when I talk to a Muslim, I ask, are you Nation of Islam? Are you Sunni? Are you Shiite? You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody they don't all have the same ideology. So I can't judge them based on them, with other members that call themselves Muslims, or Kemetics, like like a lot of brothers, they put videos up of this gay dude, he like an Egyptian person or whatever, and they try to put him up there as if he speaks for all Kemetics. That's not true. That's him, All of the Kemetics I've had, everybody on Amin Ra squad page, everybody that's a part of the House of Conscious, and I'm including Shaka Utmost. I don't think nobody's gay. I don't think any of those Kemetics are gay. But they'll post up that dude and be like, ha, see, look at him. And that's what they kind of doing with GMS. They looking at how wild and crazy GMS is, and now they just want to throw a blanket on all of us and be like, see, there y'all go. And we have to look at things logically, because if we don't, we'll mess around, put all kind of judgments on people who are actually trying to fix the problem. There's people out here really trying to do good in the Hebrew Israelite community, or at least the good side of the community. But everybody understands that positive news is not news. Anything where, hey, we're down here doing good, we're doing a community program to feed the kids or get backpacks and school supplies for children to go to school. All of that stuff is boring. People don't want to hear that stuff. They want to hear Kemet on trial. They want to hear GMS talking about they killing black babies. Like, all that stuff gets, it's insanity, man. It's very vexing. And, I don't know too much about the CIA thing, but all I'll say is, man, it looks fishy. Extremely fishy. The fact that what they saying is so outlandish, there's no way a rational-minded person would ever spew anything of that. And what really makes me suspicious is all of them are in unison in this craziness. They are all unified in this craziness. And that's what's alarming. Like, I would have thought there would have been at least one member of the group, one member of the group, of the GMS group, that'll be like, you know what? This ain't right, man. You was wrong when you said that little boy that got killed, that was okay. You was wrong in saying that. Like I needed, there could have been at least one GMS member that could have said something like that, or said, you know, you was wrong for saying fuck Mike Brown. You was wrong for saying that. You know, they could have been somebody be like, hey, bro, another GMS member saying, hey, bro, you wrong in that. But it's the fact that all of them are in unison in this craziness is alarming. One brother said, you know, we praise the Lord. Said we praise the Lord when another brother gets killed and struck down. That's madness, man. That's like 1,000% madness. And it's organized madness. I don't think that's all a coincidence. You know, whether hey Mike, you there? Who's the leader of GMS? Like the ultimate leader of them.
The heart.
In these dark times, these down times.
So I would be looking at him.
They try.
I would be looking at him then, because what leader? Who's talking to him? I want to know who's the leader behind the leader, because if he's the leader perpetuating this madness, you know, I would want to know who he's talking to, because there's no way that somebody's going to make something up like that on their own. You know, Hebrew Israelites been around for a long time, and yeah, there's been some radical groups, but now it's getting to a point to where I've heard Hebrew Israelites say things like they're gonna kill white babies. You know, they gonna try to eliminate white people off the face of the planet. You know, I've heard all of that before. But when now they're talking about they want to kill their own people, it's madness. Like now you want to kill not only your own people, you want to kill the babies of your own people. You want to kill the women of your own people. This is a whole nother level. And I don't understand. And the real confusing part is they believe the Deuteronomy 28:68. Now, if you believe that, all quote-unquote African Americans are Hebrew Israelites. You up here saying you're okay with Hebrew Israelites, babies, women getting killed. How on earth is that anything fruitful? How on earth is that anything beneficial to yourself? That the offspring of our people should get killed. That's madness. That's craziness. And we gotta keep saying this, you know. And I think people after this debate, I think people will get the idea that we are not the same. You know, there's a lot of brothers that speak real passionate about the Hebrew Israelite movement. You know, you'll see a lot of members from ISUPK. You know, they'll be, you know, they'll get a little ravel. They'll be a little hype when they talk. But I would never see them talking about let's kill or black babies going to be killed and we're going to rejoice and praise the Lord when it happens. Like, that's just madness. It's just straight up madness. Now, the thing with the General Yohana saying black women are the monsters, I'm like, that's not good either. Because that's another misconception we got to deal with. The Hebrew Israelites is known to be a male chauvinist organization. You know what I'm saying, Mike? You know, like it'd be like that's one hurdle we always gonna have. Even if we separate from GMS, we gonna get this male chauvinist thing.
Yeah, I know, man. But you know, I mean, at least with the male show and this thing, I mean, if it really is even such a word, I look at it like it's when some people go overboard with it. You know, it's one thing to have structure with the men and the women, like order or whatever. It's another thing to just oppress your women. And you know, with a lot of them, even the ones I don't agree with, I could kind of see some logic only because the women accept it. The women like it. I mean, to a degree, or they wouldn't be there. You know what I'm saying? But when you out here telling people your mama is a wicked whore bitch, this how they talk, y'all. Forgive my Hebrew. All you gotta do is go look at some GMS stuff. They say the foulest stuff about black women, man. That's how like you were saying earlier, that's why I can't see logic. I can't see them truly believing what they saying unless it's just a straight spirit involved. This ain't spookism, man. When I look at their eyes, man, them brothers look like we used to look when we was standing on the corner gangbanging.
You know
Like
what I'm saying?
they had that same look in their eyes, man, like how we used to be on the corner waiting on a quote unquote opposition to ride through our set. That's how we used to be looking with pistols, man. Like we gonna light their car up. That's how them brothers look. And I found out now that was a spirit on me. That was a spirit on us. You know what I'm saying? Them brothers, GMS got that same spirit on them, bro.
It most definitely is a spirit, man. And you're right. It looked like, man, I'm out here in Chicago, man. It's like there's been situations out here.
That's where I'm from. That's where I'm from. The shot of
You already know, man, Joe.
I'm right there from where it get grimy at. I'm on 79th Street. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in a situation right now with one of my homies in some stuff that I'm trying to get them out of. You know what I'm saying?
Please do. Try your best, man. Pray, cause
I'm going through that right now, and it's not from white folk. It's other black folk. You know, so GMS got that same spirit that we see these little young boys out on the corner have. It's gangbanging. They done turn and look. You know what's crazy? You know the Crips and the Bloods start off just like how the Hebrews and the Cometics start out of just
the Vice Lords and the PDs started like that too.
These were all community
activist groups. Yeah. I could tell you right now, cause you know it ain't no secret. You know, I don't gotta say all that, but you know what I used to be or whatever. And that's the oldest black quote unquote street gang in America that still exists. They started in 1953. They started as a baseball team, and they changed from a baseball team into a political movement. You know what I'm saying? The Chicago Voters League, which became Conservative Vice Lord. You know what I'm saying? And they was joined with the Black Panthers. Then the Air Rookies came, which we know as Blackstones today. And all that movement, that's why they even got the symbols of Vice Lords and Blackstones. They 5-point stars with moons, with crescent moons. They got pyramids. And all these symbols are from the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? Like the GDs, or all the disciples actually, they got the star, so quote unquote Star David. You know what I'm saying? All of it come from that area. So the Most High was trying to wake people up, you know, but it got corrupted by the FBI and it turned into street gangs. And I see what you're saying with the Kemetic Hebrew thing. Right now, it's conscious. It's supposed to be waking up the people. But the feds get their hands in it, man. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
That's what it looked like. It started off that because, and here's the, like you say, you got the Star David with the GDs, but then the Latin Kings say Yahweh.
Yeah.
You know they say Yahweh. So look, it'd be like if you go around talking about Yahweh, praise Yahweh. Now I'm walking around, yo, you a king? Like that's the type of stuff I'm dealing with, man.
Right.
You know, it's like I really GMS, man. Yo, it's a demon spirit, man. I don't care what nobody say, man. That is a spirit that's following them around. It's a spirit of divisiveness and hatred. and it's put there for a purpose. Is that spirit's put there for a purpose to discredit the real people. That's why I be thinking it's CIA or some CIA stuff to discredit what we trying to build up.
Yeah.
Notice how, look, whenever I see anything about a Hebrew Israelite on network television, right? Whenever I see somebody Hebrew Israelite on network television, I don't never see a calm, mild-mannered Hebrew Israelite. They go straight. They go straight to GMS, and they go straight to ISUPK. You don't
Hey,
never.
it's Garfield. Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, Garfield.
Yeah, you say we trying to build up, right? All right. What is the platform from the Hebrew side? And this is a question for the Kemetic community too. What is the platform that's going to be
Well,
as far as working the day? At the end of the day, hold on. At the end of the day, whatever plan now, if
your phone breaking up, Garfield. You going in and out.
it's not the ISUPK and GMS, I type of.
We can't hear
Hello,
you.
can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Say
Yeah,
that
we
whole
hear
thing. We missed it.
I don't know what's going on here because my phone, everything seems intact.
you. We hear
But
you
what I was
now.
going to say, but go ahead, Mikhail. Respond. Go ahead.
No, I couldn't hear you. What? Say it again, Garfield. We couldn't hear you. You went in and out.
I was saying that if what is the program or plan to have us work together, period, under what umbrella is there or what is in place right now for us to even work together? Because the way I see it with this debate, I know it's going to be hard for Nazi and to be a part of a platform to say, okay, I want to work with Polite and I want to work with Reggie and I want to work with Amin Ra Squad. It's going to be hard. Because I tell everybody, it's February 8th is not the big deal. It's February 9th. What are we going to do after February 9th? Just like the Million Man March. It wasn't about the march. It was about after the march. What are we going to do and implement? So what are we going to do? Because I tell everybody this, man. I unite with anybody, man. I don't care who it is. I unite with anybody. Anybody. As long as the platform is good for black people, black folks in the whole, I'm down. You don't have to ask me what's going on and for the future.
He breaking up bad. I see what he's saying though.
Yeah, I still understood what his point is. I can't speak for the whole Hebrew community. I wouldn't even attempt to, but I say myself being I'm an Israelite first. Let's we get that correct. I'm an Israelite first. You know what I'm saying? You could say that's black man if that don't bother me. But I'm an Israelite first, meaning I'm from my people, whether they know they Israelites or not. You know, that's the key. You could say you a dang on Atlantean for all I care for. If you black and you in America and you trying to help the community and my doctrine and my way of life does not bother you or does not become a concern to you, then we can build. It's just that simple. I mean, it's really just that simple because I'm not going to tell you, of course it's in me to let people know who we are from what I believe. And as a people, we need to get back to these laws, statutes, and commandments because even if you don't believe in the Bible, if you just looked at them and called them something else, you would be like, man, this would really uplift our community. It's even economics in there to tell you how to deal with loaning to your brother, tell you how to deal with laboring with your brother. You know what I'm saying? All this is in there, right? Long as they can respect that, I don't see a problem with it. Because like you said, at the end of the day, they still my brother.
And you know what's crazy? Because I'm out here. I got a friend out here who don't believe in the Bible at all. You know what I'm saying? And we cool, and we talk about all type of stuff, and it don't never really turn into a debate.
I got a homie like that too. I mean, people wouldn't believe it. One of my better friends, man, he a straight atheist.
Yeah.
Straight atheist. But what's crazy, we don't never get into that. When he see me go into that thing, he'll either get up and leave, or sometimes he sit there and listen. And what's funny, every time he bump into somebody that's trying to push the Bible on him, you know who he called? Me.
Yep.
And it's
Yep.
funny because even though he don't believe in it, by him being around me so long and knowing if I can believe in it, it got to be something to it. Because he'll ask me to correct them where they wrong in the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's how. Now, even with me, now this is what my guy do. He'll just ask me questions, but not vindictive. You know, there's a certain way. Like he'll be like, okay, so what does this mean right here when it says that? You know, or it's not trying. I don't know. It's just a certain way certain people go about doing things. You know what I'm saying? To where it's not divisive. Yo, Mike, you there? Oh, his camera froze up. Yo, Mike, you there? Yeah, Mike.
Hey, at the end of the
Yeah,
day,
go ahead.
we have to be very careful with because I'm really working on something to put out to the community where we have to universally accept what everybody's putting out, meaning that we have to have a common ground, and the common ground is as brother Mikael just said, is that as long as you respect, and I don't think that's the issue of respect. I think the main issue is if yeah. Hey, you guys go ahead. I got to let me get
Hey,
this.
could I say something to you, Garfield, before you leave? I know he
I'm
can
not
hear.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm
Okay.
not leaving.
I'm gonna say this about you, and I'm not just saying this because you here, because I bum on you too, boy. Whenever you do something off the wall, you play a lot of games too when it comes to this. But you one of them cats. We could debate just from what I do know about you. I hope I'm not wrong, but I believe you can do all this debating, and still at the end of the debate, we could do a picnic fun or something. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
I could see you doing that. You ain't just gonna, keep that with you all day, every day, like them Hebrews. No, I think
No. I'm telling you right now. I'm on a different mission, man. Somebody paged me. You know what I mean? And somebody paged me. A Hebrew paged me the other day, and he wrote down something to me, and I had to be like, you know what, bro? You're right, man. You're right. The bottom line is we cannot be mad if people want to call themselves Hebrew based on a faith. You can't, because just like how I was trying to break it down earlier, Alvin, that if at that time period or certain time periods we might not have been called certain names, but it's just like if people call us African Americans or black, but the only difference is it's a faith,
Mm-hmm.
because we can't let labels, because this is my thing though. I'm a no label guy. You know what I'm saying? I've never ever said to somebody, I don't believe in a higher power. I've never said that. But for some reason, everybody thinks I'm an atheist. It's just that I'm anti-religion. I'm anti all these people pulling together under one, like a Jim Jones type of thing. I'm not into that. I believe every man is accountable for himself. It's just like Brother Panahisi put in the group that we put SETI and Anka, and this is what they do and whatever. I'm saying that I'm accountable to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is my leader. So if we all believe there's a higher power, and let's say you follow the Hebrew Israelite belief, and you believe you're going to stand in front of a judge one day, or as the Kemetic believe in the afterlife, and they're going to have a scale, or they have to go in front of whoever, the bottom line is you ain't going there with SETI. You ain't going there with Ank. I ain't going there with Mikael. I'm going there by myself to be accountable for whatever I did in my lifetime. With the
right,
with the with the Aroma people pre-dynastic period, they believe you had to be accountable before you die. So that
right,
means whatever bad you did, you had to account for it while you were alive. I'm more into that type of thinking than wait, before a judge and all that craziness. I believe every man got to be accountable while they're alive. That's just how I believe. But the bottom line is I cannot let a name divide us. Like Moors, I'm not gonna let, because somebody said they're a Moor, I might think the whole system is nonsense, but I can't allow that to divide us. So one
right,
thing I gotta tell you guys though,
right.
whenever I'm not Muslim, but there's one surah I've ever read in the Quran, and it's Surah 104. and it talks about when people bring news. I'm saying this for everybody's own edification. Whenever somebody bring you news, man, I'll say something about somebody, you got to be wary of the person who's bringing it. And it's not a knock on Nazi or a knock on polite, but we got to be careful what's going on behind the scenes when somebody bring us news. Why are they bringing you the news? What is the purpose of bringing the news? Is it to uplift us? If it's to make us aware of an agent? Is it to better us? Is it to make us worse? You understand? You got to be aware of it. Not saying it's a bad or a good thing, but let's just be aware of when news come. And Reggie, and I'm sure when Reggie told anybody anything, and this is not to knock Reggie, because Hebrew brothers, I know most of them, and they hit me on Facebook, and we talk all the time. Some of them, all of us even have numbers. We exchange numbers, and after the tape about Reggie, what Nazi made last week, a number of them called me and said, yo, Reggie used to give me this information and that information. I got emails I could send to you right now. So what Nazi said wasn't a lie. We confirmed that it wasn't a lie. But it's just that I didn't like the fact that he put it out there like that. I did not like that. I don't think it was progressive. That's just my opinion. I don't want to change it. I don't want to change the conversation, but I just don't think that.
We could go there.
But my bottom line is I work with anybody, man. Even GMS. I call them PMS. But as long hey, everybody has a purpose in them. Hey, Mikael, everybody has a purpose in them. Because if everybody sees my 9-point program, I said I wanted the black community to have a conflict resolution center, 24-hour hotline, because cops are shooting us. So if we have people in the streets want to shout and act the fool, give them a job. Your job is to go to the community whenever there's a beef. You answer the phone and you go resolve it. Since you want to shout at people, go find something to do. Go find something to do. You got to use people, man. Their job is to shout. Go shout at them when the brother is trying to kill the sister, or the sister trying to kill the brother, and there's a domestic dispute. Go over there and go shout at them and tell them to stop. Instead of the cops going there and shooting one of them. Find a job for them.
Hey Garfield, I'm reading this Surah 104 that you mentioned it. I'm actually kind of digging this. Yeah, this is a decent little Surah.
Yeah,
it say hey, this kind of decent, and I don't vibe with. Go
ahead. Read it. Let us hear, man. Read it.
I was raised under it, so I mean, I kind of, this actually a decent one. Look, it say, woe to every slanderer and backbiter who has gathered wealth and counted it. He think that his wealth will make him last forever. Nay, verily, he will be thrown into the crushing fire. And what will make you know what the crushing fire is? The fire of Allah kindled, which leaps over the hearts, and verily it shall be closed upon them, and pillars stretched out forth. They will be punished in the fire of pillars. Yeah, that's kind of.
Yeah, we got it. I'm not knocking Nazi, and I'm not knocking polite. I'm just saying we got to be very careful how we put information out, and think that, you know what, I'm trying to do this, and we got to be careful, man, because this is not. We cannot turn this, Mike. I can't tell you how the street is, because I was never a street cat. But you could probably speak better about this. We can't just put out information for everybody, and these people are not at a level yet to receive certain information.
That's a great point.
They're not at a level yet. I could receive it. I could receive it and shut my mouth. But some people take it to a whole nother level. They want to put up the post every week. Oh, that Reggie, let me get him. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that, and I have to delete that shit out of the group, because I don't believe anything gay should be mentioned in my group, because I think it's a stupid conversation. I don't think anybody should bash any of the so-called people in the debate. Personal attack. Because putting up pictures of Shaka Amos, or putting up pictures of Nazi with his wives, or putting up picture with Mikael, or putting up picture with Michael Edwards, or doing. I don't think that should happen. It's 14,000 people in the group. I can't catch everything, but when I catch it, I delete it. The point of the matter is, we still gotta respect one another. Hold on a second. With after the debate, it's gonna be hard, bruh. It's gonna be real hard. The way how it is right now, on some Manny Pacquiao, Mayweather type verbal sparring matches, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good. When I'm looking from the outside looking in, it's not looking good right now. And this is why I tell everybody I don't think the debate's gonna happen. I don't think the debate is gonna happen.
You know what, man? I kind of somewhat agree with you, because when you got people saying stuff like Shaka don't show up, like people saying stuff like that, I'm like, hold on, this done turned up to something else. You know, it's like, and I ain't gonna lie, man. I was thinking about going to this debate, but this is people. It's a spirit, man. It's just, well, even if you don't want to call it a spirit, it's a mentality.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, brother. Finish your point.
No, I'm saying it's a mentality that has been spread. Like, even Polite video he put up talking about GMS. I get what he was trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Let's go bang on them niggas. I get that, but how about we rehabilitate them? You know, it's just that mentality of divisiveness is real strong. Like I said, Garfield, what you saying about coming together and doing things, it's so simple. You believe in a higher power, okay, and you believe in being held accountable for your actions.
Exactly.
I don't know of any Muslim, Hebrew, Christian, or Kemetic that would disagree with that. You know? So if we could just take those fundamental universal rules of treating people how you want to be treated, even if you are an atheist and don't believe in a higher power, if you just feel you are held accountable for your actions, and you treat your neighbor how you treat yourself, we can come together and build upon them principles, because these are things that everybody agrees with. The problem is pride. You know, it's all pride. Like, even me, I got pride, but it's like this. I'm a Hebrew Israelite, okay? And I have so much faith in my belief that I don't feel like I have to go out and bash people over the head with it, because I'm so confident in it. I don't feel I need to do that. You will notice, Garfield, the people who feel they need to go down and tear everybody down show an insecurity in their belief system. You know what I'm saying? Where they feel the need that in order to give my belief system more power, I have to tear it down. Now, you notice, when you hear me talk, I don't ever say anything negative about Muslims. I say nothing negative about Kemetics. I say nothing negative about anybody's ideology. All I do is just defend my own. You know, because I don't feel like I have to tear down other people's ideology in order to make my faith and belief more relevant. No, because at the end of the day, when everybody meets their maker, we're really going to know the truth. You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's funny that, you know what, tons of people, man, people believe in the world, in the stuff that's in the world, and it just seems like we can't come to an understanding. I hate this damn Range Rover, man. Somebody walk past it, it starts beeping, oh my god, hate this effing car.
Hey, Garfield just flexed.
This guy fixing his tire, and I gotta turn my whole engine off because of this damn guy.
Why you flexing, man? Talking about, yeah, you know, my Range Rover. You know.
No. I am a show off. Why am I laughing? I am a show off. What's wrong with that?
Anytime he spun the whole camera around so we could see that interior.
Hey, look.
No, I pressed the button. I pressed the button by accident.
Nah, man. He was like, you know, I'm in my Range. I'm in my Range.
Yeah, it's borrowed. It's not mine. It's borrowed.
It's yours right now. That's all that matters.
Oh boy.
Yeah, man. These belief systems, and I really feel it's a lack of confidence for most people. I think that's what it is. They don't have.
I need me one of those, man. What's that right there? Hold on. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, Mike, Miguel.
What up?
Yeah, I think it's a lack of, like, even you, Mick, what I notice when we talk, notice how when we get into the debates, you know what I'm saying, Issa try to come at us, I mean, you know, Brother Onk, it's always this thing of, we'll defend the Bible, but we won't necessarily bang on their beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember when Jonathan was on, we was on Carl's show, and Jonathan was there?
Yeah, I remember.
Remember, we wasn't really banging on him. We was just talking to him about, it wasn't like, but see, when I get into a group with just comedics, they try to bang on a nigga, man. You know what I'm saying?
They gonna do that, man. Like I said, it's a different spirit, man. That's the best way I can say it, man. I believe it's a science to the spiritual realm, man. Real talk. You call it spookism if you want to. I believe it's a science to the spiritual realm.
Oh,
And
yeah.
some people in some groups just hide them spirits, man. Ain't too much you can do about it.
Hey, yesterday I bought a couple of books, right, from Barnes and Noble, and one of the books that I bought, well, two of the books that I bought was kind of crazy because I bought The Great Archaeologists, and they went from like 600 BC, I think, or 600 AD up until now, and that one of the archaeologists in the book was black. So I'm bugging out. I'm like, whoa, because that shit came in a plastic, and that shit was like $60, and I'm like, not one black man in the book, and I'm like bugging out. And then I bought the National Geographic has a book about all the answers you need in science. So I bought the book, and I noticed they have every country in there, and this is going to bug you out. They talk about the oldest civilizations, right? They talk about Egypt, 3000 BC. They talk about Greece. They talk about Rome. They talk about this. Then they got Africa. I'm like, National Geographic is bugging. How they going to at 500 BC?
Whoa.
Yeah.
They start African civilization. But what was
I'm gonna take a picture. I'm in the group, but that shit is bugging. Talk about what? That's the next point. They say Africa.
Wait, so they trying to say? Hold on. Now, even me as an Israelite, come on, man. Let's be real. They trying to say that even the Greek and like Eastern Europe and all that, they try to say that they were.
I know Egypt was. I think Egypt was two. Was one? No, Egypt was one or two. Egypt was one or two. I don't remember which one they were, but I know that
they try to separate Egypt from Africa. They always try.
Exactly.
Well, yeah,
exactly.
They always did that. They even got racist. Most of y'all got them. They even got racist maps. Have you ever seen the racist maps in the race? They got Africa. Look, they got Africa like this big, and Europe like this big, and America like this big. And I'm like, dude, Africa, you could fit the whole Americas inside Africa 3 times. That's how racist, this what degree they are. They make Africa, man, like the size of Asia. And Asia is huge, but Africa is the biggest continent, man. Let's stop playing. So they trying to, you mean to tell me from what you saying,
I'm gonna take a picture and post it in the group. They trying to say, like, see, or knowledge or recordings or whatever. I don't remember what the list was, but I know Egypt was on it, so you know they're talking about civilizations. So now they put Egypt at 3000 BC, and then put Africa at 500 BC. That's like, what?
Egypt is Africa.
Exactly.
Hey, but hold on. But even if they tried to play that game, so now what? That mean they got to separate Ethiopia from Africa too then, if it only started 500 BC. Because you got Kushite. You got the original Kushite empire that's older than all of that.
Exactly. The Oromo people are pre-dynastic, so I don't know what the hell is going on.
Hey
Man, that
man.
should be graphic.
Hey, but this what I want to say. I say this even while you on here, Garfield. This one thing we can see eye to eye. Yeah, I like to bum on people and crack jokes and all that type of stuff. But in the end of the day, one of my Hebrews said something to me a few years ago, and I took it to heart. You know, when I was making them Hebrews in the Hood YouTube videos, I need to start making. Yeah,
Yeah, that's when
this.
I met you. That's when I met you through that shit.
Yeah, that's about 4 years ago. But see, my thing was, I said this, and I'm gonna stand by it. I just can't wait till this weather breaks so I can get back to Chicago and get in them streets, try to open up another center or something. But my goal, like, let's put it like this: when we was coming up, we had certain things that was cool, and I said, you know what my goal is, if anything else, so we can make it cool for youngsters to have wisdom now. Like instead of them standing in line to get some damn Jordans, let me see them standing in line in Barnes and Nobles. Like, man, you know this new book I get, man? No,
Give me
I'm
a second. I'll be
serious. No,
I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. Give me 2 minutes.
this might sound unrealistic, but it's not, bro. Do you
No,
know the stuff like these debates and how we be kicking the knowledge on Facebook? Do you know how many young cats is starting to pay attention to that? I was
and
looking at some young dudes that normally would just be on the, be on the corner with the rapping and the fake gangster stuff and all that. And I heard them like, man, man, but I got that Babylon 10 buck too. I'm like, what? You know what
hey,
I'm saying?
let
We
me
doing
tell you
it,
something.
bro. We making it cool to have knowledge, man. We need to
And you
make
know what?
knowledge.
That's the only thing I be giving credit to Sean Netter.
Right.
Everybody studying to prove they stuff. Like it's becoming cool to be a scholar. You
Right.
know, that's
Right.
the one thing I like about this whole Egypt versus Kemet versus Moors versus Islam. Everybody is trying. It's like we're naturally competitive people, man.
Right.
I don't know where that comes from, but especially us men. Men bond through combat.
Yeah.
Women bond through affection. They're affectionate to it. They're like, hey, girl. But men, like some of my best friends, they became our best friends because we got in a fist fight. After
Yeah.
that fist fight, now we
Yeah.
friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's a man thing.
Right.
So whether we disagree or something, but when we get into these little chat rooms, or whatever, we're bonding through debate. It's combat. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Well,
And
let's say for the most part, most times that how it go. But some people you mentally spawn with, it really is a spiritual battle.
yeah,
Y'all not
yeah,
gonna get along. But for the most part, that's exactly what it's doing, man. And
yeah.
we could say as Hebrew Israelites, I mean, even if you're not in a camp, but I could speak more so for the camps. That's like regular. Our little kids, we got the little Pee Wee League and we send them off and they have a little Pee Wee Bible study, but within the Bible study, they
Mm-hmm.
give them history lessons. They got
Mm-hmm.
to get books like encyclopedias and stuff like that. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I see that same thing with the Kemet community and the Moorish, and so the whole little conscious community. You're right. It's like it's making it cool for the younger kids to research, to study,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. So yeah, that's I say that's one positive thing that's coming out of this.
That's definitely a positive thing because it's like because it's so funny in this world. I call this an underworld, the house of consciousness. All this us going at it. It's like here it's not about how much money you got. It's not how many girls you got. You know what I'm saying? It's all about what knowledge is you kicking. You know what I'm saying? And here's the funny part: if you can bring something up that ain't nobody ever heard of before, then that really be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's the type of stuff that. So I feel that's good. But back to this GMS thing, I feel they are the people that's messing up the whole thing, man. Those are the people you just talked about, Mikhail, where you said there's just some people where spiritual warfare. GMS is when it's spiritual warfare.
Man, I remember. I don't know how true it is, man. Like I say, I listen to a lot of stuff, but I don't go back and spew it because people just slander people and you don't know what's true. But I know I had seen something, man, where they say GMS was doing a Passover. It was a video. They had a Passover or something. I think last year. And they was talking about, man, they was paying like they was charging like $50 per person or $100 or $500. It was something ridiculous per person to participate in the Passover. Where have you ever heard of something like that?
How much was it?
It was something. I don't want to lie, but it was between 50 and 500 or something like that.
For a Passover?
Yeah, it was $50, $100 or something like that per person to Passover. That's what I heard. I saw it on they got a video on YouTube about it, and they got them at the Passover. Somebody was recording. And they was like, look at this. You know what I'm saying? They was like, I don't know if they snuck a camera in there or what, but they was in there charging, man, for the Passover.
Yeah, we getting ready for Passover out here, man. Me and my pops.
That's what's up. That's crazy though, man. But so that was the topic of this hangout. What, to talk about GMS?
Yeah, because the topic was, I'm even on here. Look, I went on the Raw page, right? And I put up, should all Hebrews be judged because of the actions of GMS? And everybody was saying yes.
Okay.
That's like, that's not good, man.
If that's how they feel, then we could start pulling out stuff. That means we could reflect the whole Kemet off stuff Shaka Atmos say.
That's what I'm saying, man. But here's the real thing about what Polite did. I just don't like the fact that he put that video out as if no other Hebrew said anything about GMS. GMS been checked. They've been checked over and over again. So I just don't get why he put that out there. But that's just all this debate stuff. Let's put this out before the debate, just so the Hebrews look like they all dysfunctional and stuff, so they can't even come to me. So it's whatever, man. I'm actually with Garfield. I'm almost kind of agreeing with you. I don't think that shit gonna happen, man. I kind of agree with you, man, because it's too crazy right now. I will say, if it do happen, that's gonna be over $100,000 event, man.
Why you say that? Polite loving you right now.
Man,
Polite loving you right now, boy.
They charging $20 a head, man, and it's gonna be. I think they could get over 1,000 people to come to this debate, man. Well, it might not. I don't know if it'll be 100,000. It's gonna be in the tens of thousands of dollars.
What you talking about?
This debate.
Oh, most definitely. Tens of thousands, easy. It might hit. It might hit six figures, Joe.
Yeah, it might hit 100 because you gotta think about it, man. You got $20 a ticket. You got 1,000 people show up, man.
Hold up. Not to mention, if you want to watch it on pay-per-view, ain't that $20?
Yeah. Yeah. So
dude, they gonna surpass six figures, bro.
That's gonna be some bread, man.
I heard they try to play the Hebrews on their little bread. See, that's the whole thing, man. That's the whole thing. And I gotta give respect, regardless of if you agree with the brothers or not. But I know in one of them last debates, the brothers didn't even take no money. Real talk. I can't remember which one it was, but it was somebody, a cat from the House of Conscience even said it. Like, they ain't even want, like they ain't care, but they ain't care about the money. They just want to go up there. You see what I'm saying?
That's when you know it's a real person, though.
Yeah.
That's when you know it's a real person, whether he a Kemetic, a Hebrew, a Muslim. If they really start doing, that's when you know who is for real.
Right. And like now, it's got so beefed up, so hyped up. I don't see nothing wrong with Israelites wanting their little chop off of it. But I heard they don't even want to pay them. So they kind of like, man, the Hebrews like, it don't matter, we gonna do it anyway. So I don't know how true that is, but that's crazy, man.
If they do that, that automatically makes them look better.
Yeah.
If they do that and don't take the money, because then this isn't all for show. This
Right.
is because I believe in this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, man. No, everything interesting, but shoot, I'm about to skate, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. You know, everybody watching. You know, I'll just say this to everybody, man. Let's just talk to somebody before we start talking about what you think they believe in, because that's where people get messed up. You'll start blaming them for stuff they might not believe in just because somebody that calls themselves what you call yourself says some wild stuff. You know, you got anything to say, Garfield? Signing off.
Hey, one love to everybody, man. One love. Just remember that, you know, we're all a part of the one, and you know, something you're gonna have some brothers that just don't want to be a part of the family. You know, everybody. That's my dream. You know, everybody want to be a part of the one, but not everybody want to be a part of the one. They just want to do their own thing and live rebellious and not live right. They want to run around and smoke and drink and do all type of nonsense, and that's how they want to live. And those type of people, you try their best to reform them and show them a better light, but not everybody want to see that light, man. I've never smoked. I'm Jamaican, and I've never smoked. I remember when I went to a school in Massachusetts. It was an all-white school when I came to this country, and I don't know if I told you this story before, Mikhail, that I scored a goal. I was playing soccer, and a white boy called me nigger, and I didn't know what nigger was.
Yeah.
I did not know what nigger was.
Wow, that's crazy. And then I know that really would have confused you coming from Jamaica, and then the first person you hear call you nigga is somebody using the derogatory. Then you go in the community and hear your same people saying it.
Saying
So
that shit. But you want to hear some crazy shit?
What?
When I went to the coach and to the players and said, hey, he called me a nigga, what's that? The whole place, they started fighting. The white boys stood up for me and started fighting the other white boys.
Now that's the element people don't understand, man. I mean, I get it. The white man did all this stuff, but there's a new kind of white man formulating today. It's a different kind of white guy, because like, let's take a kid that was born in 1992, right? Well, he's almost 23 years old. Well, he's like 23 years old. He didn't grow up in a world where the segregation and racism and all that type of stuff. These white boys listen to Jay-Z, Kanye West. The white girls be twerking. They want to have babies with black men, having babies with black men. It's like, and then these babies, these are your future congressmen and senators who grew up listening to Tupac. So this is a different kind of white guy we dealing with. You know, it's a different kind of white guy. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Garfield, before you peel out too, man. Peace, and stop stop putting the radar on people who you think are baddieologists.
All right,
oh God,
y'all. Peace.
All right, peace, man. Take it easy, guys. One.